gentlemen, the American Jury and Bulldog Nation, welcome to the Eric Deters Show. As always, we're sponsored by Deters Consulting, Parks Yoga, and check us out on all of our platforms. Well, the top story is Trump at UFC. He went there with Dana White and Kid Rock ringside, and the place applauded him. And Masvidal, who's now retiring, helped lead the chant of "Let's Go Brandon" in the arena. How do you like that? Nothing like a pick-me-up going to a UFC fight. Trump folks are at UFC fights. So that was great. The FBI, you would not believe, the FBI is calling normal terms that you and I would discuss on social media and use as extremism. The FBI is part of the censorship. It's sickening. John Kirby, aren't you sick of John Kirby? Good old John Kirby comes out. He tries to blame everything on Trump. And this guy's been a little weasel spokesperson in the national security for too long. John Kirby, he ought to go. Tennessee lawmakers taking some heat for ousting these African-American legislators who caused a commotion in the General Assembly. And there's been a lot of pushback on it. The problem is guess what? They can run for re-election again in the special election to replace them. Jim Jordan is hitting back hard. He has subpoenaed the guy who was in Alvin Bragg's office who resigned over this indictment process. We'll see what he has to say. Afghan refugees, you can't make this up. The 70,000 Afghani refugees who came to the country apparently have been a bunch of jerks as our guests. Mistreatment of Americans trying to help them. No good deed goes unpunished, right? Last but not least, U.S. intelligence leaks, like 100 pages of leaks, including that by May 23rd, the Ukrainian air defenses are going to be exhausted. Do you believe it? You believe it? Leaks. I mean, just a nightmare. This administration is a disaster. Do you not agree? Coming up next, Bulldogtv, the local news. Ladies and gentlemen, the American Jury and Bulldog Nation, welcome to Bulldogtv Local News. We're sponsored by Deters Consulting, Parks Yoga. Check us out on all of our platforms. Bulldogtv continues to grow and grow and grow. And our top story is St. Elizabeth Medical Center, the big behemoth that controls all health care in the Northern Kentucky. The latest is they are worried to death about the certificate of need disrupting their plans of Kentucky healthcare domination. I say too bad. You know what they lie? They claim by keeping their monopoly, they're able to offer better service at a less cost. Baloney. We know that is baloney. I'm telling you right now, folks, I see St. Elizabeth Medical Center as the worst. But you know what they do? They buy people. So many people work there. So many people have contracts there that they're like the king. The king. And I oppose the king like Robin Hood did once King John I, who happens to be one of my great-great-grandfathers. All right, law and crime. One person was fatally shot Sunday outside the Pit Stop convenience store in Coleraine Township. Police were dispatched to the scene on Galbraith Road, but the victim died on the scene. Authorities have not identified the victim or released any information on a suspect. A former deputy of the Kenton County Detention Centers behind bars, Curtis Edwards, was caught sneaking drugs in the facility and distributed them to inmates. Edwards was carrying marijuana and fentanyl when he was arrested. He faces 25 years in prison. Poor guy. See ya. On Friday, police resubmitted an aggravated menacing charge against Cincinnati Bengals Joe Mixon. The charge stems from an incident in January where Mixon allegedly pointed a gun at a woman. The charge was initially dismissed within 24 hours of filing, but new information has Mixon charged again. If you're going to menace, don't do it aggravatedly. Menace without a weapon. I'm an expert on this, Josh. I'm an expert on menacing. You know, menacing sounds so bad. All menacing is scaring somebody. Do you realize you can be prosecuted for a crime for scaring somebody? I've spent my whole life scaring people. Now I can't scare people for 1 year and 11 more months. I'm already 1 month in. So I got 1 year and 11 more months where I cannot scare anybody or send anybody a harassing text. Man, I'm on lockdown. All right. I stand with Joe Mixon. All of us menacing defendants got to stick together. Local news. Kings Island is set to open this Saturday, April the 15th. The highlight of the 2023 season is the opening of the Adventure Port theme area, which includes 2 new rides. That area will not open Saturday. They'll add finishing touches and open the area later in the season. Sprint car racer, this is sad, Justin Owen, died Saturday, he's in his 20s. Died of injuries sustained in a crash at the Lawrenceburg Speedway in Indiana. Harrison, Ohio man made contact with the outside wall and went airborne during a qualifying race. Kentucky State news. The deadline to register and vote for the Kentucky primary is 1 week from today on April 17th. The primary is May 16th. Vote Deters, vote often. Indiana State news. Anti-bullying bill 1483 is one step closer to becoming law in Indiana. The bill would require schools to investigate all bullying reports and notify all parents involved. In extreme cases, the bill would require school districts to transfer the bully to a different school than the victim. How about kicking them out? Ohio is putting a new program into effect that will give grants of up to $20,000 to parents adopting children. The new grant system will take the place of a $10,000 state tax credit that can take up a year to process. Officials hope the new fund would alleviate pressure on the foster care system. Heck, let's go adopt 10 kids, Josh. $200,000. And in sports, Kentucky basketball star Oscar Sheway has declared for the 2023 draft, but he's retaining his college eligibility, so he could return to the program. In other words, no agent. And the Reds split 2 games at Philadelphia. They're 4-4, I think, or 5-4, but they're in 4th place. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has a day. Coming up next, this character, James Spin Spinley, and his World News.
Hello, Bulldog Nation. I hope everybody had a fantastic weekend. Today's World News. 2 bodies have been found after an explosion flattened a 4-story apartment building in the French city of Marseille. The cause remains unclear, but investigators are looking into the possibility of a gas leak. At least 5 people have died and 1 person is missing after an avalanche in the French Alps. The last surviving prosecutor from the post-World War II Nuremberg trials has died at the age of 103. Ben Frantz was just 27 when he secured the convictions of Nazi officers for war crimes and crimes against humanity. An Italian tourist had been killed and 7 others injured in a suspected car ramming attack near a beach in Tel Aviv, Israel. Local police said the suspect attacker was shot dead by officers. And the new Super Mario Bros. Film has broken box office records for the most successful global opening of all times for an animated film. Until tomorrow, have a fantastic day. Take care.
Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury and Bulldog Nation, we hope you had a wonderful Easter. In fact, unlike our normal sports dress, I'm in my pink and blue Easter shirt, and Nick looks like he just came from a family function because he did.
I did.
So here we are for our Easter show. Well, it's easy, right? Top story, the Masters. Right. Nick, what did you think about the Masters?
It was a great showing. I watched most of it, and our boy John Rahm took it for a second major.
Isn't he Spanish?
He's Spanish, the 4th Spaniard to win it.
John Rahm. But you know what? How about Phil Mickelson?
Yeah.
Phil Mickelson. How about that guy?
The oldest
guy to finish where he finished.
Right. He had a great day. Shot 8 under today. And
how about the weather this week?
My Lord. Yeah.
I can't believe that tree fell down, never killed anybody.
Did you see that?
I mean, it was like, holy cow, nobody got crushed. But that was part of the story as well, bad weather. All right, moving on. Mavzadal. He is one of the best. 38 years old, retires from the MMA, and Trump shows up with Kid Rock.
That was great.
And Dana White and Miles Vidal helps lead the cheer in
Let's go.
F. Joe Biden. Let's go, Brandon. I mean, pretty good.
Yeah, I don't watch it, and I didn't even know about this Muslim guy, but
He's great.
I saw
He's crazy.
Yeah, I saw the highlights.
He grew up in Miami doing street fighting. That's what this guy did. He did street fights, bare knuckle street fights.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he's tougher than. By the way, when I went down this week to the Trump event, 4 rows back were 2 seats for him and his wife, but they never came.
Oh.
I was hoping to get a picture with him.
Yeah.
My son would have really
I can't
loved
believe
it.
he's that old.
All right, do you pay attention at all to Bronny James?
Once in a while, I know what's going on with him.
Well, he just led his USA under-19 team against the world to win the world.
They're saying he led them, but he scored 11 points, missed his first 3 shots.
But he's a point guard.
He scored 11 points, and yes, they won.
Can you imagine? I think about this all the time. Okay, can you imagine the life that Bronny James has led? I mean, your father is LeBron James. You play basketball,
Right.
I mean, can you imagine?
I'm sure it's one.
I mean, how would you like to be him in high school?
Right.
Bronny James. All right, NBA play-in. Did you see it? My Lakers are in it. They host the New Orleans.
Yeah, Pelicans. Right.
But isn't it crazy? You gotta win the. There's some people picking the Lakers to win the West, and they're in the play-in.
The Cavs did this last year. You got to win one game, and then you play the winner of the next game.
Right.
And the Cavs won the first game, lost last year. But yeah, the Lakers are.
Well, the Cavs are in it.
Yeah, they're 4th seed. They play the Knicks.
All right, let's talk about some baseball. The Reds are already in the second last place in their division at 3 and 4.
They're playing well.
Oh, okay. Well, now they're 4 and 4, and they're still in 4th place.
I was coming in here ready to say the world's turning on its axis because the Indians are losing, the Reds are winning, but the Indians pulled out a 12-inning win today.
Well, they're 6 and 4 then.
Yes.
How about Tampa Bay is 8-0 unless they lost today?
9-0.
They're 9-0. They won today, so Tampa is 9-0. The big question in baseball: will Tampa go undefeated? Do you think they'll go undefeated?
Baseball equals out. They'll lose 9 games somewhere during the season.
All right. Big news locally in sports. Mixon has been recharged with aggravating menacing and a road rage incident. I personally feel sorry for him. I stand with Mixon. I want to know what the facts are. Now, when they say aggravated, just so you know, mine was just simply menacing, which means I scared somebody.
Okay.
It's scaring somebody.
Aggravated?
Aggravated menacing means there was a weapon.
Yeah, but they didn't.
I didn't have a gun going, I'm going to shoot you.
Apparently, they have no film of it because he has tinted windows and they couldn't film inside the car. This is what I heard the other day.
Well, we'll see what happens.
I
hope he's
all the way to that point.
By the way, Jason Williams of the Inquirer Sports has already jumped all over him and the Bengals. Like, they should have cut him a long time ago.
Well, they probably will.
God, thank God I don't work for Jason Williams. He would have cut me. All right. And last but not least, we have an add-on. Tell us the big football news.
Odell Beckham Jr. to the Ravens for 1 year, $15 million.
He finally is signed.
Right.
$15 million.
Why wouldn't he go to the Jets with Aaron Rodgers? Because Aaron Rodgers isn't going to the Jets. I've been saying that.
Do you think Aaron Rodgers is going to be stuck with the Packers?
I think so. I mean, I really do.
That's going to be a funny situation because he's going to be playing for a team that clearly doesn't want him anymore, and he don't want to be there anymore.
I think the Packers want 2 number 1s or whatever, too many draft choices. The Jets are saying, wait, let's rethink.
Rodgers is too old for that much. Yeah, he's 39. I think Rodgers is a really good quarterback, probably worthy of a 7th-round pick. I mean, he's old. He's old.
He's 39, sure.
You know what? If I ran a football team, I would build my team from the draft. And key selective free agency signings that were not crazy. In other words, I'm talking about like that solid player. Don't go out in free agency and sign that marquee player. It seems to me that signing the marquee player rarely works out.
Rarely. And I mean, that's a nice thought. Everybody wants to do that. The way Belichick has always done it, he picks the smartest players no matter what position.
Right.
I mean, Wonderlic test. If you get a high score, he drafts you.
The Cowboys the Cowboys are a much better team in the last 5 or 6 years. Prior to that, before they built this team from the draft, they would sign all the crazy free agents. Mm-hmm. You know, they would sign, it was a free agent, and it never worked.
Is Jerry's son involved now? Because they have gotten a lot better in the last 5 years.
He has been more involved.
He must have.
All right, anything that we forgot to add?
Yeah, I don't think so.
All right. Well, that's the sports. I predict Tampa Bay, I'm going to go out on a limb, will not go undefeated this year. Do you have any bold predictions?
161-1.
All right. This is the Bulldog with my buddy Nick Batista. Our producer, Josh, who overslept, but we got it done. Have a great week.
See ya.